Top 10 Manhwa or Manhua Where MC focuses on kingdom or world building. Welcome to our channel. Today we're talking about the top 10 Manhwa or Manhua where the main character focuses on kingdom or world building. Building a kingdom or a world is not an easy task. It takes a lot of strategic thinking, planning, and leadership. This manhwa or manhua showcases the struggles, the triumphs, and the challenges that come with building a kingdom or a world. From fantasy realms to post-apocalyptic worlds, these stories will take you on a journey of politics, power struggles, and diplomacy. Whether you are a fan of epic fantasy, adventure, or political thrillers, these manhwa or manhua have something for everyone. So sit back, relax, and join us as we take a look at the top 10 manhwa or manhua where the main character focuses on kingdom or world building. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more great content like this. Starting off with our number 10, The Greatest State Designer. This manhwa follows the story of Sun Ho-ki, a broke college student who is determined to turn his life around by earning a degree in civil engineering. But his plans are thrown into chaos when he wakes up inside the fantasy novel he had been reading every night, as Lloyd Frontera, one of the worst side characters. Lloyd is a lazy, hot-headed drunkard whose family is on the brink of ruin due to an enormous amount of debt. With his heart of an entrepreneur and the brain of an engineer, Suho sees this as an opportunity to build a better life for himself and the Frontera family. He uses his studies in civil engineering to come up with innovative ways to improve their financial situation. This manhwa is perfect for fans of fantasy, adventure, and stories about rags to riches. With its unique premise and relatable characters, The Greatest State Designer is a must-read for anyone who enjoys a good fantasy story. Don't miss out on Suho's thrilling journey as he fights to build a better life for himself and his new family. Number 8. Treacherous Subject Saves the Country. This manhwa follows the story of a corrupt and rotten noble in the Queen's Court. The main character's world is turned upside down when the kingdom is attacked by another tribe and he tries to run away with his gold but dies in an accident while trying to protect the queen. When he wakes up, he finds himself in a different place and is told by an angel that he must help rebuild the kingdom again from the start or he will die. As he embarks on this journey, he must navigate his ruthless and cunning nature to achieve victory. The story of this manhwa is complex and engaging, starting off a little slow but becoming better as the story progresses. The main character is not your typical hero, he is ruthless and cunning, willing to do anything for victory. The kingdom building elements are on the lighter side, but the abilities in this manhwa are powerful and pack a punch. The only major issue with this manhwa is the translation, but it is still readable to some extent. If you are a fan of political thrillers, kingdom building, and stories about redemption, this manhwa is for you. Number 8. Solo Bug Player. This manhwa follows the story of Taipung Shin, a dedicated player of the MMO video game Paradiso who meets an untimely death. But his gaming adventures are not over yet as he is reincarnated as Jared, a delinquent lord of Frozen Province in the very same game he loved. Now, he must use all the knowledge he has of the game's glitches and mechanics to turn himself into the main character of his own solo adventure and conquer the world of Paradiso. The story starts off with a strong foundation, introducing the premise and setting the stage for the adventures to come. The pacing of the story is excellent, and the chapters are long and satisfying. The only downfall is that some of the fights in the story are a bit anticlimactic, but overall, this manhwa is a must-read for the fans of MMO, fantasy, and adventure stories. Number 7. Return of the Manhua Sect. This manhwa follows the story of Cheong Myong, a cultivator from the Manhua sect, who awakens 100 years in the future after a bloody battle against the leader of the demonic cult. He finds that his beloved Manhua sect has been reduced to a mere shadow of his former self and sets out on a journey to restore to its former glory. The manhwa is a mix of cultivation and comedy led by an overpowered and shameless main character. The plot is interesting and engaging as we follow Cheong Myong's journey to train and rebuild the Manhua sect. The art is stunning and the facial expressions are particularly well done. The action scenes are dynamic and the anatomy is flawless. This manhwa is a must-read for fans of cultivation stories and anyone who enjoys a good comedy. Number 6. Overkill. This manhwa follows the story of Shin Yong-woo, an unlucky man in life and a low-level player in the popular VR game Satisfy who finds a powerful item that earns him a rare legendary class title, Pagma's successor. He becomes a skilled blacksmith and resolves to use his new abilities to achieve fame and fortune, but as his very existence begins to stir up trouble insatisfied, he realizes that life as a legend may be more than he bargained for. The manhwa starts off a little bit slow, but as the story progresses, the main character's personality becomes more and more interesting and profound. The pacing of the story also quickens and the art is very good and fits well with the story. This manhwa is a must-read for fans of VR games, fantasy, and stories about redemption. Moving on to our number 5, Dungeon Reset. This manhwa follows the story of Dawon, a mere crafter with zero combat abilities who is summoned into the deadly game of the dungeon, where he must outlast dangerous monsters and life-threatening traps. But after Dawon falls into a trap and survives a glitch reset, he gains random but oddly helpful skills. He must use his creativity to clear the game and return home, with a bloody thirsty assistant and an adorable ground squirrel along for the ride. This manhwa is an amazing read. If you have enjoyed the legendary Moonlight Sculptor, you will definitely enjoy this one. The storytelling is top-notch with just the right touch of humor to keep you on the edge of your seat. The main character is smart, cunning, and overcomes adversity by leveling up with the small skill set he is given. Number 4. I Regressed as the Duke. This manhwa follows the story of Duke Aaron, who is reincarnated as the younger version of his incompetent master, Duke Aaron of Bran, after the castle he was working at burns down. Equipped with his past expertise in state management, the new Duke sets out to rule Bran at the right way and save it from destruction at the hands of his uncle, the evil Emperor Zeron. This manhwa has a lot of well-executed kingdom building and managing elements. It also includes some small-scale territorial fights that add to the excitement. The story is good and the plot is also executed very well. The characters are all unique and remain true to their roles. The art is also visually pleasing. This is a must-try for people looking for a good fantasy manhwa with kingdom-building elements. I Regressed as the Duke is a great read that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Number 3. The story of a low-rank soldier becoming a monarch. This manhwa follows the story of Chris, a 39-year-old mercenary who loses his left hand and falls off a cliff. He is then reincarnated as a 15-year-old rookie, but with the added bonus of retaining his past life knowledge and skills. The story is a classic weak to strong manga where the main character overcomes his physical limitations through training and determination. Chris is not a coward and he also knows his limits. He uses his past life's knowledge to become a powerful soldier and achieve his goals. The art is also visually pleasing and the story is well executed. If you are a fan of weak to strong mangas, then this is a must-try. Number 2. Max Level Returner. We have a thrilling story for you all about the popular VR game Eternal World. Imagine 120 million players suddenly vanish without a trace. A few months later, these start returning one by one, but they are not the only ones to make it back. Monsters also start appearing and wreaking havoc on Earth. Just when all hope seems lost, the most powerful player of Eternal World, the masked Monarch, returns. He quickly assembles his old team to defeat the beast and the nefarious Demon King once and for all. But here's the catch. Man-made weapons are useless against the enemies they must fight and players are struggling to level up without the game's special items or rewards. Will the masked Monarch be able to save the world with his few tricks up his sleeve? It's an action-packed, thrilling story that you don't want to miss. And finally, number 1. I became the Tyrant of a defense game. This story follows a player of a popular VR game, Eternal World, who becomes the most powerful player in the game. But just when he's about to rest on his laurels, he's sucked into the world of the game by some mysterious figure and thrust into Prince Ash's body. Ash now realizes that every click and command he had mindlessly sent out had real, gruesome cost, including his teammates' lives that he sacrificed for the sake of victory. To make up for his previous action, Ash promises to keep his whole team alive, this time while using his wits and knowledge to survive the hellish onslaught of monsters. But who brought him to this world in first place and why? Ash may soon find the answers to these questions, if he can survive the bloody battlefield first. This manhwa has a unique twist on the typical trapped in a game story and will keep you on the edge of your seat. The art is beautiful, the characters are well written, and the story has a lot of potential. If you are a fan of the fantasy and adventure genre, this is definitely a must-read for you. So go ahead and check it out and you won't be disappointed. The world of Manhwa and Manhua is filled with exciting stories featuring characters who are determined to build and protect their kingdoms. From Cheongmyeong of the Manhua sect, who is determined to restore his sect of his former glory, to Duke Aron of Bran, who wants to rule his kingdom the right way. These characters are not just focused on their own personal gain, but also the well-being of the people. The stories are filled with action, adventure, and fantasy elements that make them a must-read for fans of the genre. Thanks for reading, and do like, share, and subscribe.